Okay.
Yeah, I'll just say this, and then I want to say good morning to everybody and hear what's going on. Good. But one of the things when I was researching reverse bold is a lot of agents are successfully doing it around holidays. So around Mother's Day, they'll do something appropriate for mothers, like a spa package or a getaway, a girls trip, that kind of thing. And if it's Father's Day, they do things like I talked about yesterday, like the Weber Grill, a backyard movie setup, and a camping package. So you can do it around different holidays. And that's if you're going to do them on your own. But good morning, everybody. I'm so glad you're here. Bill will be on just a second. So Markia, let's start with you. I heard it already, but let's start with something good or something you're grateful for.
I'm grateful, of course, for PC. I'm also grateful. I have 2 buyers that's on the contract. Well, yeah, they have a buyer brokerage agreement looking for a home. And then I have a client that's coming down from Alabama over the weekend looking for a $1.2 to $2 million listing. So
wow. Wow, that's fantastic. Lorinda, how about you? Tell me something good or something you're grateful for, or it could be the same thing.
I am grateful for Lorinda with the O with the A.
Oh, you.
Okay, I thought I heard someone else talking. I'm grateful for all the encouragement that PC gives me. Good news is I had my first appointment, I guess, yesterday with, I'm in Ignite. And so one of the homework assignments is to make 10 appointments, see people, send out 10 cards, as opposed to 10, 10, 10, and 10. So one of the clients that I set up an appointment with yesterday is going to develop 2 lots that I sold them back in 2018. So they're getting ready to start the groundbreaking on 2 houses they're planning to build that should be finished around October. So it was exciting to hear that they called me up and said, hey, we're ready to start and we want you to be a part of the team. So I was excited about that.
Fantastic. I love that way to stay in relationship. And can you tell us what the 10-10-10 were again, because you broke up?
Okay, so I'm in Ignite, and Fiona gave us a homework assignment of making 10 contacts a day, sending out 10 note cards, making 10 appointments, and viewing 10 properties a week. So that's her 10, 10, 10, and 10 strategy.
Are the properties previewing properties?
So the properties we're previewing, she said, and I think Bill also mentioned this as well, previewing properties in the areas that you want to work, okay, or just previewing properties so you can get familiar with areas, different areas.
Okay.
So it's not previewing for a particular client, but just previewing so that you're understanding the market and understanding what's available in the areas that you want to service.
So just and I love if everybody chimes in, but one of the things that you can do is when you don't have to wait till the house is completely built to start marketing it, right? As long as you have the listing and they give you permission, you can start building excitement for those 2 homes ahead of time. And you can start to have buyers from that lead generation, from prospecting for the homes you're going to sell. You can also have leads come in for people who might be interested, but those might not be right for because of timing or because they're just not the right fit. So anyway, that's exciting. You can build on that.
So funny you mentioned that, because the second question they asked me was, how do they do what's called, you know how builders will go ahead and do pre-sales? That's what they asked. How do you set up pre-sales? By them only having the 2 houses, how would they do that? Because they were familiar with how you do it if you have a subdivision. And so I said, I will check on that. So funny you should mention that. So I will definitely circle back with you.
Yeah, so you know what, we'll do a morning huddle on pre-sales and new construction, because that's a whole animal. And for instance, there's a lot of questions that you need to ask, like, will they cut, is it a cookie cutter house, or are they going to do some custom features? Is it a little bit of each, or is it all custom, that kind of thing? So
they're custom, 2 different sizes. One's a 5'4", another one's a 4'3". The 5'4", I believe they said is like 3,500 square feet, and 4'3" is 27.
Okay, and they're
allowing the person that's buying to pick out everything.
Okay, so we'll do a morning huddle on this next week. Because that's exciting, and there's a lot of good things that go around that. Okay, Taria, tell us something good or something you're grateful for.
I'm grateful for life and opportunities.
I love that. You know, I always think whenever I'm having a day where it's a rough day, the one thing I can go back to is I'm grateful for life. No matter how hard it is, no matter how wonderful it is, it's good to be alive, right? So thank you for that. That's the most basic, wonderful one. Ebony, how about you? What are you grateful for? Or what's something good? Or both?
Of course, I'm grateful for everyone here. And look, waking up this morning, but I finally got one of my buyers under contract. Like I've been trying, I'm sorry, no, I said that wrong. I got her to sign the agreement, and we've been going back and forth for a while, and I didn't understand her hesitation. And we finally had a breakthrough. She thought that she had to pay lending fees up front. And I'm like, no. You know, she just didn't understand it. And once I explained it to her a little bit more, it was just like, oh, okay, well, I'm fine. So I don't play this to close it. I'm like, no. And then she's like, okay, fine. So I'm glad about that. And also for the class yesterday, because I've been brainstorming on different ways for when we do our reverse bold of how I'm going to have people to call. So it kind of opened the class yesterday, just opened my mind with different, you know, just different things that I'm going to do in advance, kind of just to create the momentum of it so that when I'm there on the 23rd, I can make the day be as productive as I want it to be, opposed to already shutting it down in my mind, stating that the day is not going to be productive. So.
Oh, so much there. So first of all, that's just a classic example of how what we perceive as obstacles, we think it's about us, like, oh, they won't sign the BBA because of us, when it could be something like that where they just don't know. Good job on asking enough questions to find out what was her hesitation and being able to solve that. That's absolutely a huge part of what we do, a huge part of our position as realtors. So that's fantastic. Anybody else want to comment on that?
Yeah, this happened like 3 times yesterday, where basically the client was experiencing some form of stress, and the real estate agent just simply needs to ask, you know, share with me how you're feeling, right? Like, don't be afraid to say, like, hey, you seem a little concerned today, or you seem a little nervous today. Is there something that you need to share? Is there something that you have some questions about, right? And oftentimes that will be the kind of the permission, if you will. And sometimes you gotta sit through something, you know, kind of heavy, but they're going to tell you what you need to hear to serve them better.
Yeah, and Ebony, I'd love to know what did you ask, or how did you get to that breakthrough?
Well, I noticed that I sent her the contract maybe about 5 days ago, and I've been working on her for months, you know. But she sent me a screenshot of the affiliation disclosure. And then she was just like, explain this, because she kept telling me beforehand, I got the contract, I'm going to sign it, I'm going to sign it. And I'm thinking, well, is there something wrong with my DocuSign? I couldn't figure it out. So once she sent the screenshot, she let me know that she literally didn't understand the fees and what all she would be paying for and when she needed to pay for it. So once I broke down, you know, the title insurance, the lender fees of, you know, well, they're loaning you this amount of money, you know, for them loaning you 96% of the money or 95% of the money, you're getting charged X amount of dollars. And once I broke it down like that, she was just like, oh, you know, I get it. And then she was just like, so do I need to pay this? Like, she literally thought that she had to pay it first before she could sign a contract. And I'm like, no, not at all. And I just broke down the two sides of you know, what closing costs are. You have the down payment and you have the closing costs. And once she understood that, it was just like, oh, and like 2 minutes later, she signed a contract. I was like, okay, perfect. And but she had already talked to the lender. I guess she didn't want to tell him that she didn't understand that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
She trusts you.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job. And the other part of what you said that you're grateful for is getting excited about how you're going to build momentum to reverse bold. That's exactly what we hope everybody starts to feel, because this is an exciting opportunity, and it's one where, I mean, you can hit more numbers than you ever thought possible in one day. And guess what? It's attraction marketing. We've talked about attraction marketing, where people are calling you. And that's what we want. And when they see, I don't know if anybody went on the video that I shared in the PC help. Was anybody able to look at that? If not, go ahead and look at it. I posted the link for it. It's where Gary Keller's interviewing agents who have done reverse bolds. And in one of them, they show a video of them doing the live giveaway on Facebook. And the perception is, hey, this agent who I called has this huge team of people in this place that are facilitating this giveaway. They don't know that there's 5 or 6 different agents or 10 different agents. They don't know that. They think it's all you. So perception is reality. So I love that you're excited about it. And I hope you share that and infect everybody with that excitement.
All right, I want to say something too.
Okay.
So, couple things. One, I'll pick at a word that you said. You said I've been dealing with. What did you say?
Working on
her rather than working with her or working for her, right? I know it's just words, but it is just words, right? And so it's important you're not going to be perfect. No one's perfect. I'm sure I say stupid words every day, right? But you always just want to be listening really closely, right? We're not doing anything to our people. We're doing it for our people or with our people, right? And then I just want to point out that learning and a commitment to learning, which you have clearly shown, Ebony, behind the scenes, like the not sexy stuff, like can somebody please explain to me this fee sheet from a lender? I mean, how unsexy can you get, right? But you have decided to learn it, right, and embrace it, and think of that as a requirement of you doing business as a professional. And when it was presented to you as a need to kind of move your relationship forward, you nailed it, and then you immediately got the paperwork signed. So please understand, you're not expected to know how to underwrite a financing file, but you should be able to explain some of the line items in a good faith estimate or a loan worksheet. So congratulations on being prepared for that.
And that gives me an idea that we probably need to have Kern on talking about the ALTA, which is the Atlanta Title Loan Association, or Title something association, also known as the HUD or the settlement statement. That it's gone through different names depending on what the situation is.
We've done that a bunch of times in the past. So in the meantime, you can look at it on YouTube, but we haven't done it in a while.
Not this year.
Certainly not in 2022. So good idea. Okay, cool.
Tracy, what are you grateful for? Something good.
Something good. I'm grateful for this opportunity.
For all of us here in the real estate world. Another benefit to being with Kate.
What opportunity are you talking about? Just so we can all be clear.
The opportunity to shift in this with real estate. That's what I was reading, the pivot shift. I'm just
SHIFT?
Yes, shift. Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah. There's so much content out there. There's so many people that are trying to help, you know?
Yep.
Why did this happen? And yet our industry.
I hear background. Is somebody listening to something?
Oh yeah, that was I was let me turn this off. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm grateful for. This whole opportunity.
Bill, do you want to start with follow-up, or do you want me to start?
You can start.
Okay, will you give me permission to share screen?
Yeah. All right, you're good.
Okay, thank you. So biggest thing about follow-up is we want to get people into our database, right? I'm talking specifically about reverse bold. I posted this in the, I posted this command outlet template in the PC help. And also I'm a novice at Google Docs, but if I can figure out how to get it in there, I will. Otherwise I'll ask for help. But all you have to do is if you're taking, some people type faster than they write, some people write faster than they type. But the goal is that you start listing everything on this spreadsheet. It's got a place for everything. You can look up their home anniversary afterwards. You can just go to Realist and look up the person's name or address and find what their home anniversary is. Very few realtors celebrate the home anniversary, even though they were part of it. So that's something that you could take over and say, hey, happy 7th year in your home. Did you remember today was your closing day? And they're going to be like, how come this agent's telling me that and not my agent? So here's a whole bunch of places for phone numbers. Hopefully nobody has that many numbers. But I also, here's a place for the address. And if you haven't worked with Excel, all you do if you want to hide some of those, so you have a more concise, is you just go right click on it, highlight the columns, right click and hide, and they go away.
Yeah, it's essentially the exact same thing on Google Drive or Google. Yeah.
Yeah. So and so you can put in their address, you can put in their mailing address if they got had something different. You know, you can hide all these and then repopulate them when you're getting ready to go in. Here's system tags. These are tags that are already pre-populated in Command. So they have things like buyer, seller, bought, sold, agent, referral, all those kind of pre-populated tags. But over here is a place for custom tags. Now you have to set up the custom tag in Command, and Sam Jackson has videos on that, or you can just Google how to set up a custom tag in a KW Command, and you'll get videos that will show you how. But you could do a custom tag of reverse bold. But what I also like about this is then you can track your how you reach them. So if you're doing Facebook ads through Command, or if you're posting it on Twitter, or you're going to LinkedIn and posting it, or Google Ads, or Pinterest, or Instagram, or Houzz, you can just put a check here, and then you know how you got to them. So that's the very first part of the follow-up. Bill, do you want to add anything?
There are some videos that we've done in the past on ideas for breaking down or ideas for segmenting people, right? My suggestion, at least at the very beginning, is keeping it super simple, right? My tags are like not in Atlanta, right? People that are outside of the local market, people that are renters, right? So there may be a different marketing message sent to people who do not own real estate, right? These are things like, you know, interest rate news and down payment assistance programs and home buyer seminars, these kind of messaging. I have a tag for everyone that I've done business with, right? So if I've been paid to help that person transact real estate, they're in a tag. I haven't gotten in the weeds with like this person loves Auburn football and this person loves UGA football, because I'm not going to have like a different marketing message to that person specifically. I might just have that in my notes. So if I want to do something special for that person, then I can, you know, scan through the notes. What Candace is showing you is just a way to import a bunch of people at one time.
It's
right?
faster, I promise. It is so much faster than going through the windows and Command. So if you get them all loaded on here, you can just import them all at once.
Right. And it could be the kind of thing where, you know, you could theoretically, you could do that every night or every week, right? So all week long, you're adding in the people that you're, you know, that you'd like to get into Command, and you're using this template. And then at the end of the week, you just do the export or the import, I should say, and poof, they're in Command.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a powerful tool. I think it's a real time-saving tool, and I'm all about that. So second part of follow-up is what Bill was talking about, going in. Let me see if I can get into contacts.
Hey, Candace, are you deleting those after you input them, or you just leave them on the sheet?
So what I do is I'm kind of I'm kind of anal, so I tag them as like the week, and I keep them in a file on my external hard drive. I don't keep them in my computer, clogging up my computer, but I back it up to my external hard drive. And so I've got a list of everything by the week. So if I want to go back and reference what I was doing that week, then I can look at it. So that's how I do it. You don't have to do that though. Command is certainly.
I think I know what you're asking, John, which is once they are imported, then you could save the import sheet just for your own records, but the next import sheet needs to be clean of people who have not
Yes.
been added.
Thank you for clarifying that. Yes, so
Okay, thanks.
I have a command import template blank in one of my files, and that's the one that I'll use, and then I'll save it as a different file name for that week. And then that goes into my external hard drive, but I always have that blank template to start fresh with, so that I don't want to import duplicates, right? And that's what would happen if you kept going and kept people on that list and then added to it.
And just for demonstration purposes, the only way that you're going to execute on that system, this is today, one of the main ideas of today is systems, right?
Right.
Is follow-up system, right? Importing system, like it's a checklist. So if Candace wants to make certain that that stuff doesn't get lost in the shuffle somewhere, and then it's always backed up properly, you have a system for that, which is, every certain number of days, you have a checklist and you say, hey, in order to make sure my business is operating appropriately and I have the data, access to the data that I need to do this activity every Tuesday night or whatever, right?
So
Okay.
second step is after we do the Facebook Live for the giveaway, you're going to be able to call everyone who called in, and let me share this. I would recommend you do this if you haven't already. Set yourself up as a contact in command so you can practice. But anyway, I'm going to go over here to notes, and I'm going to call them. And here's where I'm going to start to take notes so that I can remember who they are and what we've talked about. So I'm going to probably put a phone call on 2922, and they said they just got a new puppy, or they're moving to Kentucky, or whatever we talked about. We're meeting for lunch on such and such a day, and whatever you talked about, you can add that in a note here so you can keep track of things. And if you're out and about, because I know a lot of us are on the fly and we're in the car and that kind of thing, write it down on a Post-it note, and then you can add it in here. But that's your second thing, is you want to call everybody within the week. So I would call them, we're having our bold on Wednesday. We want to call them at least by Friday or Saturday and say, hey, were you able to see the Facebook Live? So-and-so was the winner, but I was rooting for you. So I just wanted to call and see if there's anything I can do to help you. And tell me a little bit about what's going on in your life. Or we haven't met before. I'd love to get to know you a little bit. Tell me how many people, where do you live? What's that look like? And you're going to ask not seller intake questions, but you're going to ask getting to know you questions like you would at a mixer or a party. I don't ever go for tell me about your family, because some people don't have family and that's a sad thing for them. I don't ever ask about kids. I just say, well, tell me a little bit about yourself. And if that's important to them, it will come up. Right? Bill, any suggestions from you?
I like that a lot. I think what maybe needs a tiny bit more clarity is this is almost like a whole week commitment if you're going to take it super seriously, right? So the first couple of days of that week, Monday and Tuesday, you're prepping your pages, you're practicing your questions, you are making sure that your database is organized properly. After the event, you are following up with all the people that were kind enough, like Candace just said, hey, Thursday and Friday, we're going to be calling people to thank them. And, it's, again, I want you to treat this like a job, right? This is a project at your job, right? And if you treat it like a project at your job, then you will think through what are the systems and the potential glitches and the areas of opportunity and all these things so that you can prepare in the days leading up and in the days immediately following it.
And what I'd like to ask everybody on here, and I'll put it in PC Help because we're going to role play tomorrow morning, is let's write down some of those getting to know you questions that occur to you so that we can all share everyone's insight, because we're all a team here, right? We're all working together and we're all supporting each other. So just write down some getting to know you questions, how you would ask it. And then tomorrow morning when we role play, we can role play some of the follow-up, or we can do that on Friday and role play how to take the call tomorrow. But I'd love to know how you all get to know people, because there's no right way or wrong way. It's just your style, right? So let's see what that looks like. Is everybody committed to that? Thank you. You don't have to write the whole script, just some questions. All right, any comments? Any thoughts?
Does anyone have any new anxieties, any new questions, any new fears, any new excitement pieces?
I do.
All right, let's see if we can't work through them together.
So my anxiety is, I guess, probably just talking to people or just not feeling knowledgeable enough, because I have a couple of people who are interested in buying, but it's like kind of trying to gauge how ready they are, or like not wanting to kind of keep talking to them and not being able to get them to buy in.
So what was the last word you said?
It's like, so I have this one person, I did a buyer consultation, and I don't know what to do next to get her to sign and to help her find a home. And then another person just reached out to me. So I'm like, okay, I can do the buyer consult. But then after that, what?
Okay, so that's a whole different topic, right? That's got nothing to do with this event. This event is simply a kind of an activity so that you can share an opportunity for a really cool prize with the people that are special to you, or the people that you'd like to become special to you. If you're unclear a little bit on how to next steps with the buyer presentation,
Call me.
Call me, call Candace. We'll walk you through that.
Yeah.
And even those people, and I mean, those people are the people that should be the most excited about participating in something like this, right?
So I'll be glad, either one of us will be glad to help you and walk you right through that, so you know what to do next. That is kind of like what I always say: go out, create a big mess, and we'll help you figure it out. And the mess is getting clients, because that's the goal. If you've got the client and they're motivated, we will help you absolutely get them to the closing, every aspect. So don't worry about that, okay, Terry? Yeah. All right, so I wanted to say, after you call them on Thursday or Friday to say, hey, did you see the Facebook Live? I was rooting for you. I wanted to tell you about the giveaway. And I wanted to, call and just, I haven't met you and I want to get to know you a little better, or I wanted to just touch base and see how things are going with you. And then you're gonna put them on a smart plan, right? You're gonna put them on a smart plan, so you remember to send them something of value. We're gonna do the 36 touch. And we're going to put there's one that Patrick Malden created. Let's see if I can go into command, smart plans. I think this is campaigns. Am I sharing my screen?
Not yet.
Oh, hang on. So there's something called smart plans. And so these are, let me see if that's smart plans or not. Let me look over here. Yeah, smart plans right here. It's the one that looks like a little memo with bullet points. But by the way, in KW command, if you click on this red, it will flesh out the icons and tell you exactly what they are. So if you can't remember or you can't figure it out. Okay, I have no smart plans. That's not true. Okay. All right, so this is a smart plan by Patrick Malden. It's already set up. All you do is just put and there's a video, and I'm going to ask that you go to Leanza or you watch the video on how to create a custom tag that's a trigger. So I have a custom tag that says complete, and that means that somebody's on this 36 touch. Send it to yourself first, test it out, because you want to see what it does. Also, if you're looking at smart plans I'm not using Twilio. Also, if you're using smart plans, and you go into the library, there's a ton of smart plans. Make sure you go into them and see what the content is, because sometimes it's branded to that realtor. So if it starts off saying, the email says, hey, homes in Kentucky have never been better, right? That's not a smart plan for you. You can customize it, you can shift it and change it up. That's why it's in here. But you want to make sure that you don't just arbitrarily put somebody on a smart plan that you haven't checked out. Send it to yourself first, go in, look at it, and then change it if it needs to be changed. And make sure that, like, for instance, sometimes it's like, contact Shannon at 405-123-1234. And you don't want it to contact, you don't want somebody to contact Shannon, you want somebody to contact you. Okay. Any questions, any comments so far? This is a real systematized follow-up. There's no magic, there's no mystery. It's just a very systematized phone call. And then you could send a handwritten note to say, thank you for participating in the reverse bold. We'll let you know when we do the next one. And have a call to action. Give me a call, or let's get together. Let me know a great time when we can get together, and I'll send you a text.
I have a question, Candace.
Uh-huh.
Just because I wasn't able to make it on the call on Monday and Tuesday, I just want clarification. So are we putting the information out there within the next 2 weeks, I guess before the 23rd, for us to come into the, like, what exactly is the 23rd, or what should we have done before then, just for clarification?
So my goal is to have some sort of marketing piece for you by tomorrow. I have to get confirmation from the vendors. I've had kind of a verbal confirmation, but I want to make sure that they are all on board with the amount. And it looks like they will be. They're just checking RESPA and that kind of thing to see if they can give that much. If not, we'll each have to chip in a little bit. But what the goal is that you can do, I recommend, I put that video where Gary Keller's interviewing the agents who have done reverse bold, and what they did leading up to. They did Facebook ads, and they shared their numbers from how many, they got like 30,000 impressions on Facebook and 67 leads from their Facebook ads. You can control your budget. So if you want to spend $10 and do it just over the weekend, you can do that. They did, what else did they do? They did Facebook event. They created a Facebook event. If you're doing Facebook, make sure that you're compiling a customized list of people that you want this to go to. For instance, as I said on Monday and Tuesday, I have a lot of realtors that are on my page, which is great because I love my realtors, but I don't necessarily want them calling in to win. I want to generate new leads. So I'm not going to advertise this to them. I'm going to create a customized list for this particular event and for this particular post.
Okay, so on the 23rd, I guess what I'm asking, are we all supposed to have our own item that we are?
No.
Oh, okay, what I was under the impression of.
Yeah, our vendor partners are going to sponsor a prize. We were looking at like the mirror. I looked at MacBooks. We might be able to get a MacBook. I think the Peloton might be too controversial right now, but we're looking at something about $1,500 to give away. And
so multiple prizes, or just one big one?
Just one big one for now.
Well, that's what we're trying to get paid for. If you wanted to offer, something smaller as well, like if you want, let's say you wanted to do a night at a restaurant or an Amazon gift card or a massage package or something like that, you're more than welcome to do that. We're just trying to pull off a larger opportunity for you.
Okay, so like after the live, we wanted to do our own to say, hey, congratulations to this overall person, because it may be like over 1,000 people that could be in there. If it's everyone, prospects that's going into the list, we can kind of do a smaller one on a smaller scale.
Well, the people that, yes, and the people that call you are the people that you lead generated for. They are going into your database. So we are not combining the leads that come in. The leads are specific to the agent. and what your activities were.
So on the 23rd, that's when the announcement will be made.
Yeah, and so the way it works, Markia, is from 9 to 4. I recommend everybody get in there at about 8:30, and we'll try and have a sponsor. Well, not try. We will have a sponsor for breakfast, or some breakfast snacks and things like that. And we'll be playing some sort of motivational video so that we get everybody pumped up. Then from 9 to 4, that's when the phones ring, and that's when people are calling in. They're calling in to register for the giveaway. And we've got a script for that. I'll post that script. I'll post that script in the PC help. And we'll practice that tomorrow. We've got a script for that. And then at 5 o'clock, we're going to do a Facebook Live and do the giveaway. We'll draw the name. All the names will go into a basket, and we'll draw the name. And then everybody can look on their, everybody will know who their leads were because they've kept notes on it. And that way you can see if that's your person. And then you can call them.
The reverse bowl.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're calling in. They're calling in to register. It gives you an opportunity to ask them some questions like, who do you know that we could call about real estate today? After you've gotten their name, what you say is, in order to register, I need to ask you a few questions. What's your name, your address, your phone number, birthdays, and then who do you know that I could call to talk about real estate today? Or who do you know who might be buying or selling in the near future? And who do you know who might be interested in a career in real estate? And that's how you generate your leads for real estate, right? Maybe the person calling in is ready to buy or sell, but probably they know somebody. So not every
also getting them to like your Facebook page or something like that, so you can continue to, well, number one, so they can watch, the winning moment, right? But then so they can also be a kind of an audience member to your messaging in the future.
And I guess what we need to do is create a big event page where we can do that Facebook Live on. So that when we do the drawing, people can see.
And is this exclusive to PC?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, could somebody else participate? Oh, you mean the prize? Yeah, the prize would be exclusive to PC, just so we're clear on that.
Yeah.
But if somebody else wanted to, hang out with us and make calls or receive calls, sure.
So we'll create a Keller Williams coaching site in Facebook. I'll do that. I got to make a note. And that's where we'll do the live event from. But I'll do the coaching site where the live event will be broadcast. A lot of times teams do this, and they have a Ring Central number that then rings out to everyone's specific phone numbers, because if you have 100 people calling in, it's the phone. What I've read is that there are no breaks during the day. You're just on the phone all day long, and the leads are coming in like crazy. So
frankly, if you are not receiving phone calls, you should be making phone calls. Right?
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, you should just let's take advantage of this day when your peer group is around you, and you have a lot of people trying to support your extra effort.
And there's a guideline for doing a reverse bold, but there's not like a step-by-step what to do. So if anybody has a creative idea about how to market this, or I'm gonna talk to Churchwell Group today and see if they'll create maybe a giveaway ad for us, for giving them some business. Andrew's out of the country, or else I would go to him, the Piedmont Closing Company. He's out of the country. So I'm going to go to the Churchwell Group and see if they'll do a little giveaway for us. So anyway, hopefully we'll have that ad by tomorrow. It's going to depend on, I've got to get with the sponsors and pin them down. So I'll do that today. But if anybody has any creative ideas, please share, because this is, watch that video that I posted in the PC help, and see if that doesn't spark some ideas for you, because we want this to be a big win, and I know it will be, but we all need to take action.
Beautiful. Okay, it looks like there was a chat question. Oh, all right. Okay, guys, don't forget there is a Winning with Listings, a complete guide today. from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. That's an SES class. There's all the registration links on the daily email. And tomorrow from 9 to 4, if you are interested, there is a little fee of $69. Jean Rivers is teaching the listing clinic. All right. All right, you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you, Candace, as always.
Thank you all. Don't
Thank
forget your
you.
one things, even if we didn't say them in here. Think about your one thing for today and get that done. Big rock.